Are you waving your hand, or is it the Indianapolis 500? Woo! Hey, hey, what day is this? It's Friday, baby. Welcome to Festool Friday. This is Festool Live, episode number 86. It's noontime. Okay, so last week we had a best of series because one of the guys in the room needed a vacation, PTO, whatever. Okay, so, oh God, did I miss everybody? It's my favorite hour of the day, of the week. And here we are with Festool Live. Okay. I got to remember how to do this. Taking a couple of weeks off. Okay, let's do a quick introduction of the room. Over here to my left, I have Big D. Get him on the camera, please. Hey, over here, I have Chris on the camera. That's right. Down here, I have Sparky. Right here, I have Minnie. And over here, get him. He just walked in. He doesn't even know we're doing Festool Live. That's Garrett Sato, okay? I don't know why he's here. But online is the one who matters. That's Brent Shively from the Best of Brent series on YouTube, baby. Hey, have we dropped number 6 yet? Number 6 is on its way, everybody. Make sure you tune into it. And that's on our YouTube channel at Festool USA. Don't forget our Facebook page and IG. And guess what? Festool Live will live on there even after we are done here today. Okay, I'm going to call out of the department now. I love these guys. I get to hang out with them because guess what? We're mask-free, baby, here in Indiana. Is it all of Indiana or just at Festool? It's getting there, right? So we're still doing some social distancing here and there, and we're still working out all the logistics. But, man, it was good to see everybody's faces that I haven't seen in 2 years because we all had to wear a mask outside of this room. In fact, I'm looking around the room, and everybody's got their mask off. Yes. That's what Minnie looks like, everybody. Okay, and Big D's over there, and Chris, well, he should keep his mask on. Okay, just kidding. Oh, my God, everybody's so sensitive these days. Okay, I mentioned something earlier. This is episode 76. 86. Thank you, Big D, man. I see. You give me a week off and look what happens. I had to Google how to do this morning. Okay, so let's take a year back from here. And this is kind of like cool because this is kind of an evolution of what we've done, right? Because episode 33 was the OF 1010. Okay, and I'm going to cover the new OF 1010 REQ-F. And the reason is kind of a step back is I'm not covering everything on the OF 1010 because not a lot, well, a lot has changed, but I will call out what has changed, what are the new features, but the best part is it still works in with all the other Festool accessories and consumables, okay, for the 1010. Okay, but we upgraded quite a bit on it. Now, let's take 2 years ago. What is this, March what? March 4th. Okay. Does anybody remember what was happening 2 years ago in 2020, right around March 4th? I'm going to tell you something. I was a little scared what was going to happen, right? Because we saw this, I call it this stupid thing called COVID coming in. I'm not trying to be philosophical or anything, but I just realized episode number 2 started, it was in the second week of April. Okay? So, we've been doing Festool Live for 2 years almost. This is incredible, and I can't believe it. It feels like I just started with this. Okay, and there's another reason I'm saying this. I want to thank you for tuning in. Boy, some of the things we have planned this year are outrageous. So I'm going to call it out because this is really cool. In a few weeks, we're going to be in Providence, Rhode Island. And we're going to be sharing a booth or working in a booth. I'll be there. The boys will be there. We'll be at U.S. Tool and Fasteners booth at JLC. And guess what we're doing from there? We're doing a Festool Live on Friday at noon. The boys are working out all the logistics. I'm really stoked about it. Okay, so because we're maskless around Festool, I had to go and start seeing everybody again, which I really wanted to. I've been mingling with everybody, but man, I want to call out a group of people that have worked so diligently, so wicked hard over these last 2 years, and that is our repair department. If you've ever had a tool repaired from Festool, you will understand how important it is and what a fantastic job these gals and guys do down at our Festool repair department, Festool service. So I want to thank them. It was great seeing everybody. Oh my God, it's like, I'm so glad we're kind of working toward the end of this pandemic. Okay, so there you go. I had to say it. Everybody right now online is going, hey, Sedge, get to the meat of this. Okay, so here it is. This is the new OF 1010. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so where are you all from? Okay, so look. Back at episode number 2, I whipped out all these routers. We had the MFK 700, we have the OF 1010 EQ, we have the OF 1400, we have the OF 2200. Okay, so how do people rate routers? Right? It's from horsepower, and you can just see the progression up here. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with the repetitive stuff. Go watch episode number 2. There's so much killer information in there. So let's take this out of the mix. Okay, and that's the OF 1010 EQ. And let's bring in the new one. Okay? So if you check it out, you're going to say, it looks the same. No, there's some really cool refinements. And it just reminded me, I still need this to show you the difference. Okay. So as I go through the new features, okay, the upgrades as I call them, I'm going to set it up on the guide rail with the guide stop. And I'm going to, that may be a little repetitive of episode number 33, but I think it's always good to see because you should see some of the killer refinements that we have done here at Festool on it. Okay, so I did something this week on Festool Sedge, and I said, and somebody finally said, it's about time. Okay, but somebody reached out and said, and I wanted to wait till today so you understand this, because I had to go ask this. I thought I knew quite a bit, but Rick and Brent enlightened me on this. So when you look at the, somebody wanted to know, what's the REQ-F stand for? So I have a thing back at my desk with all the abbreviations, and F usually stands for fast fix, okay? And I have it over here, the Rotex, that's why it says FEQ, fast, it has fast fix, fast pad change. But I go, there's nothing fast fix on the new OF 1010 REQ-F. So the F stands for fractional. It's different in Europe, but the F stands for fractional because we have the inch scale on this unit, and you can see it right here, okay, for your depth setting. See it? But also, it's on here, and I'll tell you exactly what this is for. You probably know because you've seen all our videos or all our lives on this. This is the support bracket, but that scale, you'll see the 0. That's the center line, and I'll go through this again today, but that's fractional as well. Okay? So I just thought I'd cover that. That's what the F is for. Oh, the R is for reface. It means we refaced it. It's kind of an upgrade. Okay? E stands for all the killer electronics inside, and Q stands for plug-it cord. It's quick, okay? But that's plug-it cord. So you might want to write those down and ask everybody, hey, what does this stand for on this machine? What does this stand? OF. What? No, Big D's writing it down. Okay. He goes, I didn't know that. Okay. OF stands for, and everybody out there in Europe, my pronunciations are horrid, but OF stands for Oberphrasen or Oberphrasen. It means routing in German. And over the years, as we go through stuff, I'll try to remember what everything stands for. MFT stands for multifunction table. Okay, but nothing in German, but it's usually something in German or the abbreviation of what exactly it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it over here. And Big D knows, hopefully he reminds me I'm grabbing the right router as I go through this. Okay, because they do look, well, let's look. They do look quite similar, but you can see we put some more plastic on here. Yeah, I'll go through the depth gauge in a minute. Okay, but there's something else that I looked on the original PowerPoint. I said, what the heck? It looks the same. But you see this turret right here? We moved it to this side. Okay, now, when we put this in the lineup, here's the other thing I'm struggling with. It looks like a Mini 1400, doesn't it? It's really cool. Okay, because it has the same excellent micro adjustment on the depth. Okay, and I'm going to go through that again with you over there, and it's a similar turret, but instead of a slotted screw, It's a really easy hex to turn for fine refinements on depth. Okay, how we doing, Big D? Okay, so we're freezing. We're still good? Okay. Should I stop? Stand by? Okay. Or should I just keep rolling? Okay. I'm hanging. I'm still frozen. We're back? I'm good. I can keep going? Just wave your hand when I can start again. Am I okay? Thank you, everybody, if you could still hear me, for your patience. I appreciate it. Hopefully it'll start streaming soon. Okay. We're going to take the stream offline, come right back. Sorry about this, everybody. No, I don't. I don't. So, dad jokes. Okay, just wave your hand when we're streaming. Thanks, everybody, for your patience. Boy, too. No, it's not. It's not a. Oh, I almost. See, that's why it's live, because I almost said something I shouldn't have. Are we good? Everybody can see us. I wish I could see this nodding and everything. Garrett, you gotta stay right here. You're a good luck charm. Yeah, as soon as you left, everything froze, Mr. Sato. Now he's frozen. Okay, so hopefully you guys are up to speed. I know you heard me about the difference of the routers, but what I want to do is, as I go to put a bit in, and as I'll show you the upgrades on this, okay, as I have found out and learned to understand going through this and setting up and doing some trainings already on it. Okay, so here's your OF1010. I'm going to put a bit in, and it's really simple now. They said there was better clarity. Well, there is, as I grab an old OF1010, okay, because I mentioned earlier we moved the turret, and it's easier to change a bit, but you've probably, if you've experienced this with your 1010, you probably have had times when you're trying to route and you don't have a good visibility. With this, you have great visibility, because I don't want to say it was simple. Germany hates it when I say things are simple because things get re-engineered. But we took the turret from here and moved it over to here. Okay, so if we can look at the difference, Chris, get in here so you can see it. Look at, it's a better line of sight on it. Okay. Now, it's still the same bit changing. It's a through hole. I'm going to get that out of the way. Okay, and I'm just going to take it. I'm going to chuck a bit in pretty quick here. We're going to do a 3/4 mortise. Okay, and this is tough for me too, because I have to say 3/4, not 18 millimeter. Right. Hey, let's warm everybody up. Hey, Minnie, you're like Mrs. Metric. What's half of 3/4? Huh? What's half of 18? 9. See? Ooh. Yes or 9? 9. 9. Okay, so that's what's funny about this. Metric for us is so much easier. And I'm looking around because I know I do have a wrench kicking around. Okay, I got one right here. Chris, you got to stop moving my wrenches around. Okay, so it's still the through hole in the ABBA. Okay, but now I can actually have more room and not hit the turret as I'm tightening it or loosening it to get it out. Okay, so I'll set that right there. So I've chucked that bit up. Okay, now, still, every time, this is called the guide stop, everybody. And I always love training on this because when you first get this, right, when you put it on here, there may be some lateral tolerance in there, some slop. So you take a posi dry screwdriver, as long as it's a Festool. Okay, that never gets old for me. It probably gets old for you. And you can knock out the slop, and it pushes that little bit of plastic in there. Now, I'll give you another tip. I like to make sure it's fairly tight, but I'll also take some wax and put it on here, in here, and here. So it's still, there's no slop, but it runs smoothly. Okay, then I'm going to take the rods, and I'm going to deadhead them right in here like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Getting going again here, warming up. So that slides really nice. I'll just get this out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to put the router, and when I put the router in, it has two locking knobs, the OF1010. Okay, let me just get that in there. Got to loosen the knobs. There we go. It slides right in. And here's what goes missing when you're setting up on the guide stop. Okay, the router should ride partially on the rail. So you see how I have that? And I'm going to tighten it up here and here. Okay, but here's the problem with it. It wants to fall off. That's why we have this support bracket, because guess what the support bracket does? It supports. Hey, Mo. So I'm going to put it on here like this, and I'm going to tighten the screw up. Okay, now, the beauty of the Festool router system, I love this because so many people don't know this, okay, is when we precision grind these rods, we now know when we put the base on that that is dead on the center line of our router bit. That's the center of this bit. Okay, you can see it, look, on the MFK 700, on the OF 1400, and on the OF 2200. Okay, so whether you're using a parallel guide, or, as we even had a whole episode on this, or a guide stop or a parallel edge guide, it makes it wicked easy to set up on center line to run profile bits or straight bits for grooving. Okay, or what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a big mortise today. So what I did when I took this pine here, a southern yellow pine I should say, is we're going to do a dado here. Not a dado, a mortise. If it was all the way through, cross grains dado. Okay, but we're going to stop and start it precisely. Yes, we've done this in several videos, but I want to do the setup with you because this is what really distinguishes. There's two things that distinguish Festool routers than anybody else's system. Number one, it works with the guide rail in an easy to set up way. And number two, it has killer dust extraction. And we're going to have some fun with that today. Okay, so what I did is I did some layout previously to the start, and I scribed the center line because we're going to work off the center line. But I also want to stop it precisely, and right here, we want to start it precisely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up, and I've preset this. Look, I have a positive stop over here, okay, on my MFT. And if I look at this, well, Chris, I'm going to get in your way. Okay, man, when I was setting this up last night, man, my eyesight was off. And no, I wasn't drinking. Okay, so as I go, Minnie, I knew what you were thinking. Okay, hey, you guys see the new deflector? Isn't that nice? Huh? It covers the whole thing. I love this new deflector. Okay, so we're going to use these. These are called limit stops. You get one with your track saws. You can always purchase a second one, but I love using these because as I slide this in here, you can say, well, that doesn't stop anything. Okay, did somebody tell me what's half a 3/4? 3/8. 3/8. Okay, now I got to remember where 3/8 is on the scale. Okay, so look, see that? You know, it'd be really cool if that's an 18 millimeter bit, and it is. Okay, so I got to really guess at this. Okay, so see this? 0 is the center line. So I have to see if this bit's spinning, I have to take half of that and stop it on that line. So that's why I pick 3/8. Okay, I don't want to have to watch this as I'm doing it, right? So come over here, Chris, and Big D, you may be able to get it. See that little point right there? That's also the center line on this guide stop. Okay, I'm going to make sure everything's tight. that actually hits it right there. See that? I'm going to tighten it up. So I'm going to set up this line really quick. Okay, and I'm going to start at 3/8 before the center line. Hopefully that's coming across. I'm going to take that limit stop and put it right here. So now I don't really have to think about it. Now, get my deflector back on. Look how that works. Covers up that little channel now. It's sweet. And these horns here are a little bigger so nothing slips out of them. That's where it's where you can put the cord in the hose. But you guys all know that I usually just wrap it up around my arm to get it out of the way anywho. Okay, now, my favorite new release this spring is the new hold down, or what do we call this? The lever? What do we call this? Lever clamp? Oh, Garrett just goes, no. Okay, it's I call it the new hold fast because it's just like a hold fast on a traditional bench, but it's a little bit different. I'm going to put it in here like this, slip it in. Be patient, okay? Take it like this, and when I lock it down, that's nice and stout, okay? Make sure my stop is set. So, all of this. Now, let's talk about something that I've talked about before in several videos, but I want to talk about it because guess what? This is a huge upgrade on this. This is the new depth stop, and we put a little picture here so you know when you use the micro adjust, if you need to go deeper or shallower. Okay, but we're gonna go 9 millimeters in depth. I'm gonna get a couple of gauge blocks. Make sure you get the full set of dominoes. We're gonna go 9 millimeters deep. Do we have a 9 millimeter domino? Big D, you know the shtick. Okay, so let's start at 0. Let's do depth. I'm going to unlock it. Whoops, get this out of the way, loosen the rod. Okay, and lock it down. I call that ground 0. I could use this scale, which is fractional, and lift it up here and go 9 millimeters, which is about what? 3/8. But I don't want to, my eyes are going these days, so what I like to do is just take a 5 and a 4 and put it in between just like that and lock it in. Now, here's a call out. There's a couple things inside I need to talk about because these are also huge upgrades. We took something away from the 1400 that we learned over the years. It's on the 2200, and I knew when we innovated the new OF 1010 that we would include it because it's a big takeaway. There's a lot of times there's plunge routers out there that when you plunge, you lock them with a lever. They only lock on one column. So it's in your mind, and it does happen. If they don't take the time, other companies to precision grind the rods, it could cant a little. So your bit is not at a perfect 90. We started with the 1400, put it in 2200, and it now lives in the 1010 REQF. There is a rod. When I lock this knob, when I plunge, it locks here on the column, but the rod also pushes here. It's conical and locks on that rod. So it's a dual locking column. Now, the other one I used to have a table saw when the power would go out in Fort Lauderdale. It happened every once in a while. I'd come back in, and we call them mag switches on our table saws. When I flipped the power back on, or the power came on, my machinery would not run again. Okay, so I have seen pictures of tools, old pictures of Festool, where somebody walked in the house and the power came back on, and their sander sanded through the table. Okay, there's actually a picture out there on the internet of that. The OF 1010 inside, it basically has a protective restart system inside. So if you inadvertently leave the shop, power has gone out, you leave, it won't restart when the power gets back on. I wanted to call that out because that's some of the stuff that folks don't see. All the work that we do to build our tools and how we upgrade things sometimes inside. And we don't go through a whole big hoo-ha on it, but boy, we're constantly refining our tools and our electronics. Okay, it's a huge safety feature for all of you. Okay, so I got everything set. I got the depth. Okay, now, if someone would ask me what the big upgrade on it is, you're going to see it. Check it out. Look at this. For years and years and years and years and years, everybody said, hey, is there an adapter for the OF 1010? It's because of the oval setting on there, right? And I would do this. I would go It's easy. It just fits on like this. You got to squish the hose. Not anymore. Okay? It's now permanent. You can see it where the 27 millimeter will go inside. But here's the really cool thing. I know a lot of you out there. Stay right there, Chris. Okay, look at the diameter of that. And everybody knows when you see a diameter like that, 27 goes on the inside, 36 millimeter goes on the outside. You ever been in high school where the guy in the back of the room tries to make you laugh? That's what Garrett's doing. Okay, I'll call you out. Don't do it. Okay, so I want to show. So we always talk at Festool. You upgrade the airflow and you get more chip when you use the 36 millimeter hose. I will always recommend on the 2200 a 36 millimeter hose. On the 1400, it becomes kind of a choke point. I'll show you. Let me see. I got it right here. If I'm using really, really heavy chipping wood, the 27 millimeter, okay, this port right here, it will actually, if you get a chip, it'll block it. So I always say, hey, don't choke it down. Use a 36 millimeter hose, okay? Now, if we look at this, it's the same thing. If you're doing a lot of heavy, chippy, splintery wood, use a 36 millimeter hose. It upgrades the dust extraction. Okay, enough talking. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You'll see it. Okay, I've done this quite a few times so far to prove this. And yesterday, I got to call myself out. The 27 was working as good as the 36 when I was doing this. But I had to go get some Southern Yellow Pine because this really will show it. You'll see the difference. I think I've called everything out so far. Okay, now a little bit of safety when you're running this router, any of our routers. Before you put the cord in, make sure the tool is cycled off. Okay, now the other thing too is when you're using on the guide rail, make sure, because I've been talking here, make sure everything is tight and ready to go. I'll double check the turret hadn't moved, okay? This is what I meant by the deflector. See how the cord and the hose automatically go in there? There's no catch points anymore, okay? It covers up the whole thing. But I'm also going to show you this. This is what Alan taught me years and years ago. This is how I use my track saw. If I wrap it around my arm, because I use a track saw one-handed, it Oh, yeah, we got that mic on, right, that you can still hear me. I don't have to yell. Oh, I just found that out last week or the week before. Okay, my hand never leaves there, okay? So I'm going to make a quick pass, okay? And I'm going to stop forward, okay? And I want you to see this. That's the 27 millimeter hose, okay? I left dust in the channel like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I'll just label that 27. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to move it out, and I'm going to run the exact same thing. I'll just bring my stop over. Look how easy this clamp is. I love this thing. Okay, but I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to switch it out. Man, I missed doing this last week. I had to paint my house. Inside the first floor walls. There we go. Clarification's everything. Thank you. Everybody, did you hear Chris? Chris goes, good job plugging your hose in. I ran this morning when I first came in. I was like, man, look at the dust. There's no dust extraction. I forgot to plug the hose into the dust extractor. Okay, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to put the 36 right on the outside, and it's got that new locking system on there. Okay, I'm going to take this, and let's check this out, everybody. So you can see it's better dust extraction. Okay, I wanted to point that out to you. 36 ups the airflow back to the dust extractor. Okay, and I'll just label that 36 so you guys can see it. That might be a good thumbnail, I don't know. Okay. Whew. Did I get everything? Hey everybody, I'm gonna check my notes. Dual locking columns, dust extraction, move the turret, mag switch, and depth setting. Those are the major upgrades, okay? But here is the questions that I knew we'd get, and hopefully I can answer them for you because I've covered them already. The OF1010 system of accessories is still intact. Okay, it's and some of the things that I covered on the 1010 already. It takes 1/4-inch bits and 8mm bits. Okay, good. It works with a parallel edge guide. You can use template guides. You got to remove the screws, put your template guide in, use a centering mandrel. Okay, it comes with a chip deflector, so when you're using profiled bits, it blocks the chips and you get exceptional dust extraction with it. We covered that. We covered this. Look, it still works with the trammel point. You could still do arcs and circles. Okay, good. Okay. Hey, I'm going to move this new guide rail. Look at the easy hand support to move it. Never mind. Okay. Oh, that was bad. Okay. It still works with the LR32. Okay. It's still with template guides doing circles. I think I used this in our video for the OF1010. It still works on the plexiglass template. Okay. But also with the plexiglass template, you can use your 1400 and 2200. Okay. But we didn't really change anything. Now, I'm looking at the board right now. Okay, and I wanted to call this out because I think this is really important as well. We have a lot of people who tune in. This is a global community on Festool Live, and you're all probably, maybe some of you asking, well, I got a VS600, that's our dovetail machine. Will it still work? Absolutely. Hey, I have the MFS, the multifunction system. It's still over in Europe or around the world. It's just not in North America. It works with it. And it also works with the edging plate and the angle arm to make it a horizontal router. Okay, so I believe people still have that. I don't know if that's fully discontinued worldwide, but the edging plate, it still works with that because of this right here. Look, we didn't change too much cosmetically. Most of it was inside, and we changed the turret, a larger viewing area. The electronics inside are still the same except for the restart protection. As I look around the room, like every Festool Live, I'm double checking because I had way too much more set up than I should have. But I think I covered everything. Okay. Hopefully that came across, the dust extraction. Hopefully it came across well. Okay. Wow. Minnie's still writing. I always look at the time right now because I want to make sure it's all good. I think so. So I should start calling out everybody, Big D? Okay. Wow. Look who's number one up there. Who do you think it is? No, Ian. Guess who's second? Chris from Malta. Thanks, guys. Oh, God. We have Rob with 2 B's. And I think that's Rob from Cinnaminson, New Jersey. Hey, Rob, really quick. Took me about a month to get it right. Way back when. Okay. We have Mark from Springfield. WC Mini? Woodcraft. Okay, I'm getting there. It only took me 86 episodes. Andy from Enfield, Connecticut. Vancouver, Canada. Russ, how are you? Miss Dexter from Chichester, UK. Yo Larvey, Finland. Brent from Louisville, Kentucky. Oh, my God, he's there. How you doing, Mr. St. John Moss? From the Bahamas. That's my brother from another mother. Okay, I've known you for over 30 years, I think. John from Fairleigh, Vermont. Des from Harrogate, England. Dave from Portland, Oregon. Hey, does everybody know we're going to Portland this year? Whoop, 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 whoop. We'll see you live from Portland. Hey, Kurt from Rochester, Michigan, God willing. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Bozeman, Montana. Tom and Kelly, you're there again. From Georgia. Warsaw, Poland. Houston, Texas. Spactration, Willie, my main man, is online again. Gerard from Ottawa. Wembley and Gerhard from Ontario, Canada. Southern California. We have Terry from Salt Lake City, Utah. Huh? Gerhard. Wembley and Gerhard from Ontario, Canada. Matt McLean, how are you, Maddie from North Carolina? We have Craig and Tyler from Verts, Virginia. We have Adam from Custom Woodworking, The Lou. We have Lausanne, Switzerland. Blake, Mr. Weber from Novato, California. Salt Lake City, Utah. We have Garrett Sado from Lafayette, Indiana. We have Stefan from Las Vegas. We have Krimpen and Delac, Netherlands. I love the Netherlands. Steve from Bermuda. Anthony Scalero from Staten Island, New York. Dawn from Albuquerque. Springfield, Oregon. Dan from Whitestone, New York. Dan from Swadlincote, England. Weege Beige Dursted from the Netherlands. That's another 2-pack from the Netherlands. Salem, New Hampshire. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Warped Woodsman from Portland, Oregon. Puxatawny. Oh my God. Okay. You guys are going to start putting stuff up there to make me laugh. Puxatawny Phil says hi. Ted from Pinehurst. Oliver from the Marin. Oliver Marin from French Alps. George from Naples. Everett Hollandale from New Jersey. Mississauga, Ontario. Leeds, England. Brad from Indiana. Bloomington, Indiana. Westmouth, Ireland. Akron, Ohio. Norman from Los Angeles. Rick from Blackpool, UK. Bucharest, Romania. Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Springfield, New Hampshire. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. I love that. Johnny O. Okay. Rochester, New York. Pretoria, South Africa. Toledo, Ohio. Mechanicsville, Virginia. The Hague, Netherlands. That's a really cool place. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Tom from Zanesville, Ohio. How you doing, Tom? Canton, Connecticut. Romford, England. Wheatfield, Indiana. Never heard of it. Okay. Look at Sparky scratching himself. Sparky, you having a good scratch? You're the man, Sparky. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Soren, Denmark. Paul from Reading, UK. Minnie, you've been writing a ton. I'm going to call out. I met somebody this week. I know Minnie put him on there. Mick Jones, how you doing? From Indiana. It was nice to meet you. We have Judah and Selah from Plainfield, Indiana. Oh, my God. This is unreal. We have Waldwick, New Jersey. Nicholas from Belgium, Boucherville, Quebec. Pararimbo, Suriname. Mike C. from Winchester, Virginia. Dubai, +1. So that's a 2-pack from Dubai. We have Roll, that was a beautiful message you sent me. Thank you so much. I'm going to call you out every single time. You made my year. And Roll is from Wolvega, Netherlands. Okay, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Johnny Rackett from Gales Creek, Oregon. Houston, Texas. Adam from Union, Maine. That was a really nice message you sent us. Shawnsville, Virginia. Marvin. You know who that is? That's Marvin Matten from Holland, Michigan. Paris, Montreal, Canada. Wow. Richland, Washington. Rob from South Devon, UK. Georgetown, Texas. Larry Curran from Sun City West, Arizona. He's been with us a long time. Frank from Downers Grove, Illinois. All these people. Hey, Maddie. That's Maddie from Cincinnati. Maddie, I'm going to see you next Saturday at Mueller. I'm doing a demo day there. Mick, there you are. That's the Mick I called out. South Lebanon, Ohio. Ontario, Canada. Islas, Canaris. Nassau, Bahamas. San Francisco. Islas of the Canaries. Isle, but that says Islas.
That's what they wrote, but I'm just telling you where it is.
That's Isle of the Canaries. Canary in a coal mine. Hey, Mo. Nassau, Bahamas. San Francisco, Atlanta, Central Florida. CBGB's? No, that's GGB Design, Plano, Texas. You guys ever been to CBGB's? It's closed, but I'm an old man. I've been there. Claxton, Michigan. Caldwell, Idaho. Tom from Hastings, Minnesota. Oh, my God. I have been off for too long. Cape Cod. Okay. Tata from Hungary. Luis from Lisbon, Portugal. Belgium, Gao from Dayton, Ohio. Etobicoke, Ontario, Mexico.
This gentleman's a first timer.
No kidding. Welcome, welcome. We have Yarvso from Sweden. We have Peter from South Bend, Indiana. We have the Fab Four, because that says Liverpool. I'll call out the Beatles. We have Liverpool here. That might be a Liverpool main. I don't know. Okay, so is that it, Min?
That's it. So far.
Okay, so far. Okay, hey, it's time. I need to get out of here. Rick and I are going to the Arnold in Columbus. Woo! All right, so thank you, everybody. Hopefully I wasn't too campy today. Whatever. Here in this room, and Brent online, we all want to say thank you. Man, when I walked in, Big D said we had 60 people waiting. You guys are our community, and we love you. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Festool Friday from the entire live crew. Have a fantastic weekend. And boy, you better pay attention, because next week we have a good one. All right? I can't wait. So, have a great weekend. We love you. That's a wrap for Festool Live, baby, number 86.